Good morning, I'm Nate Puterball with your sports update. The NFL playoff picture is becoming clearer. Yesterday, the Texans punched their tickets to the playoffs, knocking off the Chargers 20-16. Last night, the Ravens kept their playoff chances alive 41-24 over the Packers. Derrick Henry rushed for 216 yards, the most ever for an opposing player at Lambeau. The Packers lost a lot of the Bears to clinch the NFC North. Afternoon football today sees the Bengals host the Cardinals and the Steelers visiting the Browns at 1. Catch Browns action right here on The Fan. Big game for the number 19 OSU women's basketball team. They host the number 4 UCLA Bruins at the Shot at 2 o'clock. Catch coverage on The Fan, too, 1460 a.m. The CBJ return to the ice tonight after the Christmas break. They host the Islanders this evening at 5. Catch them on The Fan following Browns football. The Big Ten, it remains unbeaten in bowl games. Penn State took out Clemson 22-10 in the Pinstripe Bowl yesterday. Breaking sports news, what happens to The Fan? Ohio Sports Destination.
Oh, baby, it's time for On the Money because, let's face it, it's more fun that way.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Here's Scottie Vegas and Dave Biddle.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle, joined by Scottie Vegas, Nate Puterball at the controls. Scottie, how you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good. I let myself daydream a little bit yesterday driving home from Cleveland and this morning on the way in the show, just daydreaming of back-to-back national championships, Dave, and the fact that we get this playoffs underway this week. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and it's funny. I woke up this morning and started doing the show sheet, or at least adding to it. You put the sheet together yesterday, and I was thinking, because we're going to do top 5 coaches in college football in our opinion, and I was thinking, geez, I got 4 that I really like. I'm trying to figure out who the 5th one is, right? Yeah. And I knew you guys were talking about in the call-in show. I get in my car, I'm driving over here. The first thing I hear is you and Ryan debating about, and Nate debating about who is the 5th. And I love what you said. You're like, there's 4 that are
obvious.
Yeah. That if you told me they're not top 5 coaches, I would tell you get out of the room. Or whatever, however you said it a little nicer than that. Ryan Day, in whatever order, Kirby Smart, Cignetti, and Lanning.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then 5th, I agree with Nate because it's a good debate. I think Nate jumped in and said Marcus Freeman, right?
Yes.
I think I could get down with that. Whittingham, who it's going to be weird hating him. I've always liked him, I say that a little bit in jest. And then I think Ryan made a good point. We've kind of written off Kalen DeBoer, but it's not like he's been a bust at Alabama. He was Michigan's number 1 choice, let's keep in mind. You mentioned Dillingham, I think, or one of you guys mentioned. That's another one. I'd probably give it to Freeman, but and you know what's funny? Dabo has won 2 national championships, and he's not even in the game.
Yeah.
He's not even. I didn't hear the whole show. I just heard it on the way in, and isn't that crazy? Dabo's won 2 national championships. He's tied with Kirby as the only one active coach to do that, and he's not in the discussion.
Yeah, and I thought, and the reason why we were talking about top 5, top 10 coaches is we're talking about how good of a hire was it for Michigan. And here's my take on it. In 4 years from now, I assume that Kyle Whittingham, if I were to put an over-under on how many years he's at Michigan, I'd probably put that on over-under 3.5, right? He's 66 years old. I believe maybe you get 3 to 4 years out of him. I don't see him at Michigan 8 years. I also don't see him gone in 1 or 2 years. So for me, I'm like, okay, 4 years from now, what do I envision for Kyle Whittingham and Michigan? And I envision that he will stabilize the program, that he will get them to the playoffs, maybe 3 out of the 4 years. I don't believe that he will ever have a shot to win the national championship. I don't think he will be, Michigan will be that elite, that good to be national championship level. But I also don't think that we'll see Michigan have back-to-back years where they miss a 12-team playoff, even if we expand, right? I don't think Michigan will be as low as they are as far as not even sniffing the 12-team playoff the last 2 years. So I think it's the way I'd kind of describe it is it's a stabilizing hire. You've gone 2 straight years where you've not sniffed the 12-team playoff. And so I think Whittingham will get them back to that level where they will be a playoff team. I just don't think that he has the ability to necessarily get them to be that national championship type team.
Yeah, and it's been one scandal after another up there, as we know. Like I didn't forget about it. I just hadn't thought about it in a while because everything that's going on up there. I almost forgot about the Matt Weiss situation. What a creep that guy is. That almost gets forgotten about because of all the other stuff that's happened with Sharon. But they've had a lot of stuff that's gone on. Obviously, Connor Stallions. So yeah, that's one thing. He'll stabilize the program as far as getting them to be probably a playoff team, but not a national champ. I think you said that perfectly. But he's also going to be. They're not going to have to worry about off-the-field stuff with him. He's going to stabilize the program. But I don't think he's that big of a threat to Ohio State. And let's get to the Buckeyes.
Can I push back just a hair on this?
Yeah.
I look at Kyle Whittingham, and I just see Kirk Ferentz West. I mean, he's been at Utah forever. He had one really good season in 2008. The Big 12 isn't anything right now. They had a losing record last year at Utah. They were 4th this year.
Last year I lost money because I thought they were going to win the Big 12. I didn't lose a lot of money. That was my pick to win the Big 12, and they weren't even in the mix in 24.
Outside of 3 years, Michigan has basically gone 6-6 and not to 9-3 over the last 25 years. He's a perfect guy to stabilize that.
That's the
just
thing.
like Kirk Ferentz does.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. It's you have to, in my opinion, I mean, you guys can look at it however you want to. You have to look at, they went after Kalen DeBoer, struck out, went after Dillingham, struck out. And at this point, with all of the bad timing, all of the scandals, I don't know how Ward Manuel still has a job. So if you're taking that job at Michigan, you have to think you're going to have a new AD. And I mean, he knows where the bodies are buried, obviously. I don't know how he still has a job. I think all things being considered, it was probably the best case scenario for them, given the circumstances.
Oh, for what they had available to them, it's probably their best circumstances.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's a oh my God, we got a top coach hire.
I think we're all in agreement on that.
I would have put Kyle Whittingham in the top 8 coaches. If I wrote down the coaches I respect the most in all of college football, let's say I did this before these coaching changes, I think Kyle Whittingham would have been in my top 8. I think what he did at Utah to keep them relevant as long as he did. And remember, Ohio State played Utah in a Rose Bowl, right? He took them to the Rose Bowl. I would have put him in the top 8. I would have put him certainly ahead of Kirk Ferentz and what he's done at Iowa. But going back to Ward Manuel and why he still has a job, I believe he still has a job because of the home run hire he made as far as the basketball, right?
They are
hiring Dusty May was
they are a basketball school, so that would make sense. He also hired Juwan Howard and hired Sharon Moore, so whatever. All right, let's get to Ohio State. We're just 3 days away. We're going to talk a lot of Ohio State football, of course, on the show. 3 days away, Buckeyes against Miami. Spread holding steady at 9.5. It's been that way for a full week. Hasn't moved at all since last Sunday. Over under 42.5. Expected to be a low-scoring game. I don't know. I mean, I'm confident Ohio State's going to win this game. I also think Miami's very talented. I like the fact that it's probably going to be 85-15 Buckeye fans in the stands, maybe 90-10.
Yeah.
A lot like the national championship game in Tempe 23 years ago. Yeah, I'm confident Ohio State's going to win. When I think about this game a lot, Scotty, I think, man, especially with a non-mobile quarterback who is prone to make mistakes, even though he's a veteran in Carson Beck. I like Mark Fletcher a lot as a running back. I like Tony, but they don't have enough weapons. They have a good offensive line, Miami. This is the best defense in the country, and it just feels like they are extremely motivated. I think Ohio State's offense is going to do plenty of damage too, but Ohio State's defense against Miami's offense, that's a mismatch in the Buckeyes' favor.
What I keep coming back to, and I agree, a lot of people talking about Miami's talent, and nationally they're talking about, oh, man, the talent on Miami, and I get it. However, I just keep coming back to the fact that they were 6-2 in a horrendous conference.
Thank you.
Like, the ACC sucks. Really, really, really sucks. And you're even seeing in bowl games how they are. I know Virginia, won last night, but overall, it's just a terrible conference. Clemson, awful. And Miami lost to Louisville, and they lost to SMU.
And people just gloss over that like they
beat FSU.
We had a guy on the show, I was filling in on a show this week. I'm not going to throw this guy under the bus. Nice guy, but he was just going off about how, he kind of just glossed over. It's like, Miami was good, and then they had a little bit of a lull there. I'm like, we're just going to gloss over that they lost to Louisville and SMU. And he was talking so much about Ohio State in the Indiana game. He was so focused on that. Glossed over. I'm like thinking, dude, I didn't even say, I'm like, dude, I mean, it's not like Ohio State didn't care, but like after they beat Michigan, they just didn't have that hunger. If you want to put all of your eggs in that's the real Ohio State, what we saw against Indiana, go for it. And I like this. For Ohio State, the mental side of sports are so important. Now people are doubting them. This guy made it seem like he picked Ohio State to win, but Miami to cover. And then he's like, I think Georgia's going to take care of Ohio State if they play. I'm like, okay, you look at the look-ahead line, the Buckeyes will be favored by 5.5 over Georgia.
The talk for this game feels so much like the Tennessee game last year.
It does.
Where everyone was down on Ohio State. Tennessee is going to roll in and just take out Ohio State. And now this year it's like, oh my God, Miami's got this dominant defense that Ohio State has never seen before.
I've said that so many times too, Nate, recently. It reminds me so much of that, right down to the fan base, which actually makes sense. Fans are crazy.
The fan.
Yeah. I say, like, all those Miami fans are chirping a lot. All 12 of those dudes. Those guys, they have dozen fans. But seriously, it reminds me so much of Tennessee. The fans, which is almost understandable, they're fans, but the media buying into this. Last year, you're like, that's the real Ohio State, the one that had the worst game plan ever against Michigan. It's like, really? Are you sure? Okay. And then now everybody's like focusing on the Indiana game, like just like glossing over the previous 12 games. I love it. I think it's great. I think Ohio State is like kind of flying under the radar as much as they possibly could.
It's so funny because I remember kind of like growing up and, getting ready for NCAA tournaments, you'd have elite college basketball teams and they'd have that loss going into the NCAA tournament. You're like, all right, that's going to refocus them. They'd lose early in their conference tournament, and it's like, oh, that's a loss. And it refocused them for the run. And I kind of feel that way with Ohio State football, right? It happened last year where it refocus you. Now, with all that being said, and I'm confident I have Ohio State 24-10 over Miami, so I have them covering and winning relatively comfortably by 2 touchdowns.
And the under, nice.
And the under. But for me, obviously, there's still a couple things. Number one is I still have nightmares of their inability to protect Sayin in that Indiana game, right? So the offensive line in that Indiana game and Indiana being in the backfield all game, that's one thing that, gosh, it's still in my head, and I know how good of a defensive front Miami does have.
Yes.
So I do respect that. The other thing is figuring out how to finish these drives, right? The short yardage situations, getting down in the red zone, getting 4th and 1 and struggling. And so those are the 2 things that kind of stick with me. Also, special teams, field goal kicking. That's another thing that stays with me. So those are the 3 things that I'm like, those are the concerns going into the game. Despite those concerns, I still think Ohio State wins by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think if Ohio State's offensive line if they can get a stalemate against this Miami defensive line, I think Ohio State's offensive line is going to play well in this game. Again, everybody's focusing on the Indiana game. This is a bad pass pro line, right? It was against Indiana. They gave up 6 sacks all year before that. Okay, and Indiana does have a good defensive line. So does Miami. It's been a weird year in the Big Ten. We're going to look back on it. So what was the weirdest thing? Was it Indiana being the number 1 team in the nation going to the CFP and having the Heisman winner? Is it what happened at Michigan State, Penn State, or Michigan, all with new coaches? We're going to talk about that next on The Money.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or 2 of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Tri-State Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus, or Dublin, or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 12 miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
When you're building a single-family house, multi-unit house, townhouse, penthouse, row house, or tiny house, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. The Columbus builders who are building Columbus do. They know they can rent the right equipment at the right price right now, thanks to the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus. All powered by people for equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. So no matter what you've got going in or going up, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Put a new sound on an old song. This season at Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SEMI to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SEMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SEMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Rothman and Ice.
If I gave somebody my number and they called me, I'm out. I don't know you like that. You don't need to be calling my phone. We can text.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mainly cloudy today with isolated showers and warm. Temperatures will soar in the mid to upper 60s with breezy winds out of the south. And then as we go into tonight, we'll see some showers develop with thunderstorms. Very strong winds continue, and we'll also see lows plunge down into the 20s. For Monday, slight chance of snow showers in the afternoon, otherwise mostly cloudy with strong gusty winds. Highs only getting in the upper 20s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Scottie Vegas is still offering player props at his kids' soccer games. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Let's talk a little bit about the Big Ten Conference and the opportunity that the conference has over the next few weeks. It's amazing because you got 4 quarterfinal games and 3 games have Big Ten teams in it. And the Big Ten, they are favored in 3 of the 4 quarterfinal games. Ohio State's a 9.5-point favorite over Miami. Oregon's a 2.5-point favorite over Texas Tech. Indiana's a 6.5-point favorite in the Rose Bowl against Alabama. It's amazing to imagine the opportunity that the Big Ten has. You've already won back-to-back national championships. Have a chance, the odds say that the most likely national champion will come from the Big Ten Conference and go back to back to back. You have the chance to have 3 of the final 4 teams in the college football playoffs to be Big Ten teams. So the opportunity for the Big Ten to really own and take over this sport is right there. And then you add in the fact that we think that the Big Ten got better with coaching hirings, with Kyle Whittingham at Michigan, obviously an improvement over Sherrone Moore. Pat Fitzgerald going to Michigan State just made a ton of sense. And then Matt Campbell going to Penn State. It feels like the Big Ten now has easily surpassed the SEC as the king of college football conferences. Would you agree, Dave?
Yes. I mean, they've won the last 2 titles, and like you said, they're definitely in line to win a third. Georgia could win it and flip the narrative back around, but yeah, I'm with you on this. You look at the betting odds to win the national championship. Ohio State is the favorite, plus 180. Then it's Indiana, 3-1. So the top 2 teams are Big Ten teams. Number 3, Georgia, 5-1. 4th, Oregon, 7-1. So the top 4 teams, as far as the betting odds, 3 of them are Big Ten teams. Pretty good. 5th is Texas Tech, plus 950. Everybody else is a pseudo long shot. Like Bama, it drops from Texas Tech plus 950. Bama is next at 18-1, and then Miami and Ole Miss tied at 22-1. Yeah, it's been very interesting, man, when you look at what's happened in the Big Ten this year. And I agree with you. Now, I will say this. Bill Connolly, not Coach Bill Connolly from Ohio State, but Bill Connolly from ESPN does a really good job with the advanced metrics. He came up with SP+. He ranked, I don't know if you saw this, he ranked all 30 of the new coaching hires in the Power 4 conferences. 30. He ranked Pat Fitzgerald in Michigan State dead last.
Wow.
And he had reason, he gave pretty good. Then you're like, that's not right. That's a good fit. Then he broke it down pretty good. He's like, listen, yes, you overachieved at Northwestern, but also they're in the Big Ten JV. He doesn't call it the JV. We call it the Big Ten JV, the former Big Ten West, and he fell off big time his last 4 years there. But I was like, 30th out of 30? Wow, I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't. And you look at Michigan State, and they've been irrelevant for 5 or 6 years now. And so I actually like the hire. Big Ten guy, obviously played in the Big Ten. I actually, and he's been out of it for a couple years. But I like the hire of Pat Fitzgerald. I think that Matt Campbell. I know Ryan during the call-in show says, I don't think they've necessarily improved from James Franklin to Matt Campbell. And here's the deal. Penn State had a ton of talent going into this year, right? They're a top 3 preseason team, and they completely underachieved. And going into the year, the reason why we thought Penn State wouldn't necessarily win a championship was because of James Franklin. So I think it makes sense for Penn State. I still think that they made the right move in firing James Franklin because they felt like he wasn't the guy to get them to the next level. And I do think that Matt Campbell has that opportunity. So I think that was a good hire. And I think Kyle Whittingham, you and I have talked about this. He is a solidifying hire. He's a guy who I compared him to John Beilein. For me, from OSU or from Michigan basketball. He was the basketball coach. Older guy, took over, solidified Michigan basketball, got them back, consistency, got Michigan to a national championship game with Trey Burke. Was a
really
good coach.
Really should have won the game. Remember that terrible call they called goaltending on Trey Burke? It was a breakaway. Louisville had it, and it was a clean block.
Right.
And if they call that correctly, Michigan probably wins the national championship.
Likable guy. I think it was a good hire. Stabilized the Michigan basketball program that was a complete mess at the time that they hired him. So to me, I think that all 3 programs made good hires, and we see what the Big Ten has as far as we think that they have 3 of the top 4 coaches already in the sport with Cignetti and Day and Lanning.
All right, let's stop saying nice things about Michigan's coach. No,
Yeah,
I like. I'm sure it won't take me long to hate Kyle Whittingham, but I like him.
Banning his players 4 days out is a good reason to start.
There you go. How are you going to leave the state of Utah where you've lived your entire life? I guess I didn't realize that he played at BYU.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
He played at BYU, graduated at BYU, and then was at Utah for 21 years as head coach, but was also there as an assistant coach. It's crazy to think Whittingham took over for Urban Meyer. He was Urban's D coordinator at Utah. Urban was there for 2 years. When he left for Florida, Whittingham took over. That's crazy that he was Urban Meyer's successor. It doesn't seem like that was that long ago. All right, let's get into what we teased. It's been such a weird year in the Big Ten. Ohio State hasn't been weird, so good. I like drama when I'm not involved with it, which is what I always say. Like, I like drama as long as I'm not involved with it. So I like all of this chaos as long as Ohio State's not involved. Indiana, it's been weird in a good way for them. Indiana, #1 team in the nation right now, and they have the Heisman winner. Pretty good. Everybody thought last year was a fluke, and then they are even better this year. Michigan State fires their coach after 2 years. Speaking of a guy that didn't do that guy any. I've already forgot his name.
Jonathan Smith. Yeah,
that dude didn't do him any favors. He came at the exact same time as Signetti. It was like Indiana takes off and Michigan State got even worse.
And I thought it was a good hire at the time.
I kind of did too. Penn State. Why did you have to bring that up? Penn State was like the #1 or #2 team in the nation. They completely fall off the map and fire James Franklin mid-season
too.
Michigan. What happened there with everything that's been going on? Then Sharon getting fired and then breaking into the girl's apartment and all this, threatening to kill himself with a butter knife and scissors. Okay, I just laid it all out. What's the most shocking of all of those?
I think still, I would have to say the end of the Michigan season and Sharon Moore is the craziest. But I still can't believe that if you had told me these are all of the scenarios in August, that all of these things are going to happen. The one I would probably say absolutely no chance of happening is probably Indiana being #1. Like going into the playoffs. That would be the one where I'm like, come on, there's no way. I could see, things blowing up a little bit at Penn State and them being tired of Franklin, because we all thought Franklin wasn't that great of a big game coach anyway. And Michigan State stuff, that's not too surprising because they've been bad for a little while. The Michigan stuff's crazy. It's still almost nearly impossible for me to believe that Indiana's #1 in the country going into the college football playoffs.
If we're counting, the breaking and entering and the suicide attempts, and then for me, the image of seeing Sharon Moore, not even the mugshot, the image of him when he was getting arraigned, it looked like he was in this little room, looked like he was in a straitjacket. He wasn't. That was eerie. He's dressed in like all white prison gear and jail gear, actually. That was like crazy. That puts it over the top for me. If we're
You're right.
Just from a foot.
Obviously, you could never, ever picture something like that happening.
No.
But like, if we're just talking like actual football, I spent all offseason questioning the love of Penn State, and even I couldn't have predicted how crap they were this year.
Losing that Northwestern game
them.
And the UCLA game back-to-back. I mean, just absolutely incredible. I still remember I was at Hollywood Casino, and I'm like, they're not actually going to lose this game. It's going to be tight.
Which one? UCLA?
The UCLA.
Yeah.
The UCLA, because I watched UCLA get destroyed by New Mexico in like week 2, and I'm like, this UCLA team might be the worst team of all the power conferences that I've ever seen. They were that bad. And then to go beat Penn State, like that was incredible. I'll never forget that.
We had to rename the Who Lost the Week award to the James Franklin Who Lost the Week award.
I think if we had a contest and we just drew names out of a hat or drew like situations out of a hat, I think we could make a salient argument for any of these.
Yeah.
Indiana being the #1 team. I know what happened last year.
Michigan State being bad, I think we all could have seen that.
Yeah, that's probably true. That'd be the one you couldn't make one. But like Indiana being #1 and having the Heisman winner. Penn State firing James Franklin before the Ohio State game even happened. Everything at Michigan. I mean, you could make an argument for, Nate's right. Other than Sparty, you can make an argument for any of those being the most shocking. Yeah. All right. We need to take a 2-minute break. This is On the Money.
You're kind of hero.
gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tighty-whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair.
Dormar, you're kind of cute. Timmy Hall and real common man here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got plenty of holiday specials for you this month. You can enjoy a 4-course wine dinner at the lounge at Final Cut. Plus, there's holiday takeout specials.
And we got happenings on New Year's Eve.
What's happening?
Winning. You could win a 2026 Chevy Traverse, $35,000 in cash, or $50,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
It's all going down this month at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your child's oral health milestones matter. By age 1, see a pediatric dentist to establish good oral health habits. At 7, see an orthodontist to check your child's bite, teeth, and jaws. Around 15, visit an oral and maxillofacial surgeon to have your child's wisdom teeth examined. Remember, milestones met, healthy teeth set. Visit milestonesmet.org.
When you're building a nursery school, elementary school, charter school, high school, vocational school, or jiu-jitsu school, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus, you can count on us to get you the right equipment at the right price right now. No matter what you got going in or going up. All powered by people. For equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. No wonder the Columbus builders who are building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to fund a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Dave Biddle named his own dog Parlay. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Sit, Parlay, sit.
I thought it was a good name for a dog. Parlay.
Who's a good boy?
Parlay party. All right, let's fill out our brackets for the college football playoff. We're down to, I think it is a pretty darn good Elite Eight that we have. I know. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you're like, BS, we should be in it or whatever. I don't care. These 8 teams are all legit. Now, when I say legit, I don't think all 8 have a chance to win the national championship, but there are 8 good teams. All right, let's fill out our brackets. I think we're going to go with Ohio State over Miami.
Yes, we are.
Start with that one. All right, and then what will be at 9 a.m. on West Coast time. The game's in Miami. It's just funny that Oregon and Texas Tech are playing at noon Eastern. That's funny. I love it because, we're going to be up late doing Ohio State coverage or just celebrating, hopefully, an Ohio State win, and then get up the next day and just watch football all day. All right, Orange Bowl. Oregon, Texas Tech.
So I have a little bit of doubt on Oregon and their defense. After watching them and how they played in the second half, I just think that they are going to be a little bit too overpowering on offense. We talked about the Big 12, and is the Big 12 any good? And I know Texas Tech ran through it and destroyed teams for the most part, other than Arizona State in the conference. I just think that Oregon and the Big 10, I think there's just going to be a little bit too much firepower. I can't wait for the game. I'm kind of like 52% Oregon, 48% Texas Tech. It's almost a coin flip for me, but I'm going to go Big 10 and Oregon.
I will go Oregon as well. Now, the line, this is the one line that's moved. It was at 1, it was 1.5. It hasn't moved a lot, but it's moved to 2.5. Oregon's favored by 2.5. If I was going like betting, because I'm with you, I think it's almost 50-50 with Oregon's slight edge. 52-48 is perfect. So I'm going to take Oregon straight up, but I would probably take Texas Tech if I had to bet on it.
On the money line?
I would take them.
Plus 110?
I'd probably just take the plus 2.5.
Okay.
Texas Tech plus 2.
Maybe move it to 3.5.
Yeah.
Get that field goal.
Yeah, I need to do that more often. You're always preaching that, and it's such a good idea. Buying points.
And then
you can buy points, and I'm not good at remembering to do that.
Another one, if you like the dog in this one, you might want to take buy a point as well. So Indiana is a 6.5-point favorite against Alabama. I like Indiana to win. I keep coming back when I do these games and kind of try and handicap the games. I keep coming back to who's your quarterback, who's your head coach, and I think Cignetti and Mendoza are the reason why I have Indiana. And look, I get it that Indiana's defense played really well against Ohio State and all that stuff. I still think that the ultimate way to handicap a game, especially a big-time game, is head coach and quarterback, and I think advantage Indiana in both of those, so I've got Indiana advancing.
Yeah, I like Alabama to cover. I liked it a lot better when it came out at 7.5, and I think by the end of the show it was down to 6.5.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people liked it at 7.5. So I would still take Alabama to cover. I would take Indiana to win. I am a little concerned because Indiana was able to withstand a season-ending injury to one of their really good defensive linemen, and the guy that replaced him, Stephen Daly, who was also playing a lot. He was like their fifth man anyway, stepped right in. Great game, had a great game against Ohio State, but now he's out for the year. Right, so now they're down 2 guys.
Yep.
And Indiana, they're very talented. They just don't have the depth. That concerns me a little bit, but they're just a better team than Alabama. So I'm gonna take Alabama probably in our pool. That's against the spread to cover. But give me Indiana straight up. And it's funny you said this just a minute ago. We're living in a world where Indiana has a coaching advantage over Alabama, and no one even disputes it.
I know. Well, and by the way, so we're taking the 3 Big Ten teams to win. If you just want to take the spreads out of the games and do a Big Ten money line parlay, of course, that's Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana just to win their games. They're all favorites. You get plus 220 on that. So I think there's a little bit of value on that one, assuming Ohio State comes through on Friday night. You're going into, on New Year's Eve night. You go into New Year's Day with the fact that you need the 2 Big Ten teams and you have the plus 220. I think there's a decent value on doing it that way, just taking the money lines and throwing out the spreads. And I will say, Roger makes a good point on our YouTube chat, and he talks about the Oregon defense and how I keep ripping on them and saying, because what's fresh in my mind is Oregon having a big lead and watching James Madison get over 500 yards of offense and absolutely killing my parlay, which I had.
Costing you a couple G's.
Yes. So maybe it's a little bit of take your bad beat goggles off is what Roger says. Oregon does have a good D when they actually play their starters late in games. And I get it. I still have a little PTSD from that brutal bad beat.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that because they had a lot of backups in at that point.
But still 500 yards, Dave.
Well, I understand you being upset. That's a lot of money to lose on a bad beat. So I won't argue with you.
Let's go with that last quarterfinal game. So the 3 of us have the Big Ten all advancing, right? Nate, do you agree with that? All Big Ten in the 3 quarterfinals?
Yes, but I'm really waffling on Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is a really good football team.
I do too. I think people are sleeping on them.
If there's an upset, that is the one. I would steal completely clear of that game in betting.
Yeah, and if you gave me 2.5 over under 2.5 for Ohio for Big Ten advancing, so they're all going to advance, or at least one's going to get upset. I'd probably take the under because I think there's a chance Indiana's going to get upset, although I think they're going to win. And yeah, I think Texas Tech Oregon's almost 50-50. And there is a chance. I'm not going to say there's no chance Miami can beat Ohio State. I don't think they will. I would probably take the under if you gave me 2.5.
Okay.
Over under Big Ten teams advancing to the semis. I'd probably take the under. Ooh. But individually, I'm picking all the Big Ten teams to win.
Filling out our bracket, You're going with the Big Ten, but you do think there's a decent chance there's an upset. Will there be an upset in the night game? You've got Georgia and Ole Miss.
Hopefully.
Georgia is a 6.5-point favorite against Ole Miss, and this is the one where I actually do kind of have circled the underdog. I like Ole Miss plus the 6.5 points. I think, I went back a little bit and kind of studied the first time these two teams played. Ole Miss had a nice lead going into the fourth quarter, had a bad fourth quarter in that game. That game was at Georgia. I think Ole Miss plus 6 is the way I'm going to go. But in my bracket, again, I don't have the guts to pull off the pick on the money line, but I will take Georgia in our bracket.
Yeah, I'll take Georgia to advance, and I'll be rooting for Ole Miss despite that. And yeah, and you never know, man. In sports, these things can galvanize a team. It could go either way. But it looked like against Tulane, Ole Miss was a team like, oh, everybody's writing us off thinking we're no good now just because of Lane Kiffin. We'll show you. I mean, that is a talented team. And, it's a really cool story with their quarterback going from a D2 team to leading a college football playoff team and playing really well. And if he gets his 6th year, he's going to be very well paid next year. So, yeah, give me Georgia. Go ahead.
Nate, Georgia or Ole Miss?
Georgia.
Okay, so the 4 of us are all going with the favorites in the bracket to advance. If you did a parlay of all 4 favorites to win the quarterfinal games, you get plus 354. Okay, so that's pretty good value. All favorites just to win on the money line, plus 354. Now, I did want to ask you guys this because I believe that New Year's Day now might be the best day in sports, where we're getting 3 big-time back-to-back-to-back quarterfinal games. It's been a long time since New Year's Day has been as awesome as this. To me, I think this is the ultimate sports day. Is there a day that you guys will put above? Because I used to say the Thursday of the NCAA tournament, Friday.
The first 2 days of the NCAA tournament.
I now think that New Year's Day has passed that day with these quarterfinal games.
I love opening Sunday in the NFL. I know there's always it's not the opener because there's a Thursday night that opens the season, but everybody's hiding stuff during the preseason, and then if you're in fantasy football, first week of fantasy, I'd love week 1 of the NFL.
I love it too.
Sunday, but I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, we got 3 playoff games.
It's so close because, but you can think how many games you have. What do you have, 14, 15 games, opening day? And,
yeah.
No, you'd have 14 because there'd be the Monday night game as well.
And the Thursday, yeah.
Thursday, yeah, so it'd be down, 14 games. I'm with you, though, man. I mean, 3 playoff games, and it's going to be perfect if Ohio State wins. We can just lay it, scout out the opponents the rest of the day on New Year's Day. I'm with you. All right, let's fill out the rest of our brackets.
Yep.
We have Ohio State, Georgia. I'm glad if that game happens, it's going to be at the Fiesta Bowl. I love that. I'm taking Ohio State, shockingly.
Yeah. You said the look-ahead line about 5.5 for that one.
Yeah, Ohio State would be favored by 5 or 5.5.
Yeah. This one, to me, again, I like to look at coach and quarterback. I think it's pretty equal as far as coaches and quarterbacks in that game. So I'm going to go with defense. I will go with the Ohio State defense gets it done against Georgia, and that's why. So I got Ohio State advancing. Nate?
Of course, I'm going to take Ohio State advancing over Georgia.
So, it's not like his Iowa State Cyclones are in this.
No.
Right. That's so funny. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Scotty was convinced that Nate was an Iowa State fan.
Yeah.
We're not sure if it's because he was talking up Farmageddon so much.
That's what it was.
Or if he said Iowa State and you thought or if he said Ohio State, who's your favorite team, and you thought he said Iowa State. Because it sounds somewhat similar. Ohio State, Iowa State.
That Farmageddon love.
That's what it was. You just assumed he wasn't a Kansas State fan. It had to be Iowa State just because he's talking. That whole thing is so funny. Okay. All right. Let's get
Big Ten semifinal.
All right. Give me. Jeez. Again, I'm not convinced Texas Tech's not going to be there, but give me Indiana.
My initial pick was Ohio State, Oregon in the national championship game. However, because I think that Texas Tech Oregon game is more of a 50-50 game, I think the safer way when you're filling out a bracket is to take the team that you're more confident with in the round before. So I will go Indiana, Ohio State as my finals in the bracket.
Normally, I would say it's really hard to beat the same team twice in a year, but Indiana so thoroughly beat Oregon last time out, I can't picture Oregon beating them.
Yeah, I mean, it was only 10 points, but
it never felt in the second half like Oregon was in the game.
Yeah, I'm not arguing, because even though it was only 10 points, beating Oregon in that stadium by double digits is really, really, just beating them, period, is tough. So that Indiana, that was one of the best wins, if not the best win of any team in the regular season. All right, rematch for all the marbles.
All 3 of us have the rematch.
Florida. It's not really in Miami. It's like in Fort Lauderdale. Shockingly, I'm going to go with Ohio State to win the rematch against the Hoosiers.
Yeah, me too.
Shockingly enough, I do have Ohio State winning that game.
So the 3 of us all have the bracket the same. Hopefully, this is how it all plays out.
Hopefully.
This would be the dream scenario.
And everybody who's listening to the show is like, these guys are all homers. That's true. But we like to shoot you straight, though. We don't just, we want Ohio State to win, but we shoot you straight.
If I were to have any sort of deviation, I would have Texas Tech in the finals.
I could see that. I'm with you. I'm like one of the. I think Texas Tech's legit, and people have been talking about like BYU got snubbed, and BYU smoked Georgia Tech yesterday. First of all, BYU did not get snubbed. Texas Tech blew them out both times, and that's a good BYU team. And Texas Tech smoked them. And Texas Tech's only loss was on the road against a solid Arizona State team.
Without their quarterback.
Without Texas Tech's quarterback.
I get it. My deviation would probably be Oregon beating Indiana in the semifinal. That would because that's what I had in my initial bracket before the playoffs started. So that would be my change. Would be Oregon over Indiana. But I'll go with the change that I made where it's the Big Ten rematch, Ohio State, Indiana.
All right. Up next, we're going to talk more Ohio State, Miami, and we're going to make some bold 2026 sports predictions. This is On the Money.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com. Here, heart care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SUMMI to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SUMMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SUMMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a common seasonal virus, but it can have major implications on a patient's heart health. Most RSV cases involve mild cold-like symptoms, but up to 160,000 adults are hospitalized each year for more serious cases, and RSV can escalate chronic health issues. If you're over the age of 60, talk to your doctor to find out if the new RSV vaccine is right for you, and learn more at heart.org/RSV.
Cancer screening can save your life. Begin cervical screening at age 25. At 45, colorectal and breast screening. At 50, discuss lung screening with a doctor. Find resources for free and low-cost screening at cancer.org/getscreened. This is a public service message from the American Cancer Society.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists.
For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit OutdoorStewards.org.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see. Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3 podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus. And we'll send Bobby right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Scottie Vegas can't even pronounce most of the names of the tennis players he bets on. He doesn't care as long as they win. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Well, 2025 was quite strange. We just talked about some of the weird stories of the year. Michigan coach arrested. You had Indiana #1 in the country heading into the playoffs and the Heisman Trophy winner. A lot of hard things to predict. Penn State, James Franklin fired in the middle of the season. So let's make some bold predictions about next year, because there was a lot of weird in 2025.
My first one is Kyle Whittingham will not break into a girl's apartment and threaten to kill himself. Oh, that's not a bold prediction.
Not bold. That's not bold enough, Dave.
Come on.
All right. I've written down 3 relatively bold predictions for the year of 2026. First one I'll give out is I think a wild card team wins the Super Bowl this year, and I'm looking at the Rams or the Bills. Those are the two that I kind of have circled as
I don't think that's bold.
Most likely. Well, I mean, it's a wild card team.
The Bills winning the Super Bowl is kind of bold.
Well, just any wild card team winning the Super Bowl. I think that's more likely than.
But it's asking a team to win 4 games, number one. Number two, it's asking them to win 3, probably on the road in the NFL to get to the Super Bowl. So I think it's relatively bold. So I'm going to take a wild card team, maybe the Rams, maybe the Bills. Who knows? Maybe C.J. Stroud and the Texans, but maybe the 49ers. But I will take a wild card team to win the Super Bowl as one of my first bold predictions. No, it's not the Michigan coach getting arrested bold, but it's somewhat bold, Jerry.
Yeah, I was hoping something like Matt Campbell will get fired midseason. No, that's not going to happen either. I will stick in college football, though. I think there's been a lot of talk, well, they missed the deadline, so it's going to be 12-team playoff next year as well. Maybe they extended the deadline is the fact of the matter. It was December 1st. They've extended it to January 21st. Money talks. I'm predicting the CFP will extend to 16 teams for next season because they extended the deadline. And again, man, I mean, follow the money. It's inevitable they're going to expand. The Big Ten and the SEC are one call away from getting on the same page, Petiti and Sankey. They have different, they're not too far off. I think they're going to get it done, and they're going to expand to 16 teams.
We're only one call away. All right, I am going to – I don't know why that came into my head. Weird guy. Let me go with my second bold 2026 prediction, and I am going to go with the college basketball route, and I'm going to say a very, very, very long drought is going to end, and that's a Big Ten team is going to win March Madness.
Ohio State.
That would be bold.
That would be. Are they going to make the tournament?
Maybe that's also bold. But here's the deal. It's been since 2000 Michigan State since the Big Ten has had a national championship winner. Sadly, if I had to say now.
No, you don't. Just leave it at Big Ten team. Don't say what
I won't say which team that I think it'll be, but a Big Ten team will end that very, very long drought.
Okay. I will go in the NFL now. Okay, I think the Cleveland Browns will trade up for the #1 pick. They'll have 2 first-round picks, of course, their own. and they'll have the Jags, which I know they're hoping the Jags pick would be closer to the top 10 than the bottom 10, but they still have, enough draft capital to trade up. And they got to hope maybe that the Giants are the ones that has the number 1 pick and not Vegas, because if Vegas has it, they'll probably just keep it. And I think they will get Mendoza. A lot of people think it might be Dante Moore. I see that. Because I don't think Mendoza is like a surefire, but I just think that's probably what the Browns are going to do. I think that was their plan last year. It's why they traded the pick. They're like, okay, let's just wait for the next draft and get our quarterback, unless they think Shadur's the guy or Dylan Gabriel, which I don't think they think that. So I think they're going to trade up for the number 1 pick and draft Fernando Mendoza.
So what's funny is we're doing these 2026 bold predictions, and the first words out of your mouth were Cleveland Browns. And what went through my mind is, oh my gosh, Dave is going to have the Cleveland Browns going to the playoffs or something in 2026. And no, they're going to end up with the number 1 pick from a trade.
Well, I mean, they're going to be in the top 5 anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have to move up that much, and they'll have 2 draft picks that they can, and they might have to throw in like a later round pick too, or maybe a current player. But they'll have plenty of capital to get that number 1 pick if they want it.
Okay, I think for my third and final 2026 bold prediction, I think we are going to still have one more major coaching shakeup in college football, because I think that we will see one of these major coaches take an NFL job in the offseason. I'll throw some names out there. Maybe it'll be Marcus Freeman. Maybe it'll be Sark. Maybe it'll be one of these Lincoln Riley. One of these big name jobs I think will open up again, because once the NFL jobs open up, I think we'll see somebody, I'm not mentioning a coach locally here, but some big coach will jump to the NFL and open up one more big coaching job this offseason.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman's interesting because like the betting line came out. These are the offshore books. You can't bet on this in Ohio. And they had Marcus Freeman as the favorite to be the New York Giants head coach. The Notre Dame fans were not happy about that. And I agree with them. I got on their message board. I don't think Marcus would leave. I don't think it's a money thing. I think the Giants could throw a lot of money at him. Notre Dame would probably match it or exceed it. I just don't see him doing that. I don't see him jumping to the NFL. So I think he's going to stay at Notre Dame. All right, my final one. I don't even know if this is bold because he was a finalist this year. I'm predicting Julian Sand will win the Heisman. And it's funny, man. It's kind of like what people are saying about Ohio State overall. It's like Julian Sand's kind of flying under the radar. People are like, yeah, he's turnover prone. It's like, okay, he's had 6 interceptions all season. He leads the country in accuracy and completion percentage. He leads the nation in quarterback rating. Julian Sand's really good, and I think he's going to be even better next year. Give me Julian Sand to win the Heisman.
All right, Nate, what bold 2026 prediction do you have for us?
I have 2 in college football. Number 1, Dabo, it will be his last season at Clemson. And number 2, despite all the media hype and everything, LSU will still be a mediocre team next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that one.
Yeah, I'm not buying that Lane Kiffin is some great coach. I mean, he's okay. We'll see. All right,
Steal shopping carts.
Hot yoga. All right, first hour of the show's in the book. Stick around for the second hour. This is On the Money.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 12 miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
Put a new sound on an old song this season at Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Timmy Hall, and real common man here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got plenty of holiday specials for you this month. You can enjoy a 4-course wine dinner at the lounge at Final Cut. Plus, there's holiday takeout specials.
And we got happenings on New Year's Eve.
What's happening?
Winning. You could win a 2026 Chevy Traverse, $35,000 in cash, or $50,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
It's all going down this month at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puderball with your sports update. The NFL playoff picture is becoming clearer. Yesterday, the Texans punched their tickets to the playoffs, knocking off the Chargers 20-16. Last night, the Ravens kept their playoff chances alive 41-24 over the Packers. Derrick Henry rushed for 216 yards, the most ever for an opposing player at Lambeau. The Packers lost allowed the Bears to clinch the NFC North. Afternoon football today sees the Bengals host the Cardinals and the Steelers visiting the Browns at 1. Catch Browns action right here on the Fan. Big game for the number 19 OSU women's basketball team. They host the number 4 UCLA Bruins at the Shot at 2 o'clock. Catch coverage on the Fan too, 1460 AM. The CBJ return to the ice tonight after the Christmas break. They host the Islanders this evening at 5. Catch them on the Fan following Browns football. The Big Ten remains unbeaten in bowl games. Penn State took out Clemson 22-10 in the Pinstripe Bowl yesterday. Breaking sports news, what happens to the Fan? Ohio Sports Destination.
If you can't find something to bet on, you're not trying hard enough. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Welcome back to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle. I'm joined by Scott Prokop. We, of course, like to call him Scottie Vegas. We have Nate Puderball at the controls. And right about now, Nate, it's time for the parlay party. Hit it. All right. Parlay party is where we celebrate anything we want to celebrate. Could be a nice parlay that we hit. Could be anything at all. Scottie Vegas, what are you celebrating today, my friend?
So I've started to go back a little bit to less parlays and more straight bets. And I was at a friend's Christmas party the other night. We were just kind of hanging out on the couch and threw on some bowl games. And I threw on UT San Antonio, and they were playing Florida Atlantic. And I'm like, you know what? Let's spice up this Christmas get-together party.
Yes.
And let's bet on UTSA.
You're sick.
Heck yeah, man. I was betting on Ohio University in their bowl game.
And there was so was I. You and I were texting late at night. That was like a 11:30 at night, bowl game that we were watching. And so some Great Lakes Christmas ales were being consumed.
There you go.
And we were watching the game, and I'm like, let's go heavy UTSA. And we did, and we won and covered by a big margin, and then we threw a big old party after we won that bet. So celebrating that nice win. I'm also celebrating the fact that, guys, I cannot wait for after Ohio State wins on New Year's Eve against Miami, that 3 games on New Year's Day where we, as Buckeye fans, after beating Miami, we're just going to sit back and enjoy football all day long on New Year's Day. Just think how great of a sports day that's going to be. Winning on New Year's Eve and then watching great football from noon to midnight. Playoff action. It's what we always dreamed of when we thought about this college football playoff, is having amazing New Year's Day games. And I think back last year, we didn't have that because we had 2 weird teams like Arizona State and we had Boise State that were playing in the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day games. So we didn't have it last year. This is the first year that I think New Year's Day is just going to be the ultimate day in sports.
And Arizona State did give Texas a good game, but I'm with you.
It was a good game.
It just doesn't have the same feel that this year. And that's what I'm celebrating too. I'm celebrating the fact we're just 3 days away from Ohio State Miami. It's kind of snuck up on us a little bit because it was like, 3.5 week break, and then it's like, okay, now a couple weeks, and it's like we're down to 3 days away. I absolutely love it. I believe the team gets there today. I don't think they got there last night. Some of the reporters got in last night. I think the Buckeyes fly out today, so safe travels to the Buckeyes. Definitely celebrating that game's just 3 days away. And like you said, Scotty, I think we're just headed for just a beautiful New Year's Day, assuming Ohio State wins and we can just relax the next day and not be ticked off the next day. But I think Ohio State's going to take care of business. I look at this defense, and it just gives me a lot of comfort thinking about this defense going up against this Miami offense. So, just celebrating like all things college football. It's going to be nice ringing in the new year after a Buckeye victory. Nate, what do you got?
I'm celebrating that this is the last real weekend of football for the rest of the year, or for the next couple of months. Yesterday, you got to watch I was in here watching the Pinstripe Bowl, went home, watched the sacrificial death of a couple of Pop-Tarts. Got to watch some football in the evening, both NFL and college. Gonna go home after this, watch NFL all day, and then next weekend it's not the same.
Yeah, I know, because and NFL going to 17 regulars, and they'll eventually go to 18.
Yeah.
16 was perfect. You have 32 teams. 16 games. That was just too perfect, and they had to ruin it.
So I'm not going to lie. Your parlay party, Nate, actually kind of made me a little sad.
Yeah, but you got to celebrate the last one.
Okay.
You gotta go out with a bang.
Yeah, that part's true.
Have a bunch of beers. Have all the snacks.
There we go. Now he's coming around.
Okay, all right.
He's celebrating getting drunk and watching football.
Okay. All right.
It's an American tradition.
That works. It is going to be an amazing week of football.
A tradition unlike any other.
Last segment, we went through and we talked about bold predictions for 2026, and we each shared a few. Mine was that there will be a Big Ten team that wins the College Hoops National Championship and ends the long drought since 2000 when Michigan State won it all. I said a wild card team will win the Super Bowl this year. I threw out the Rams and the Bills, 49ers, one of those, Texans maybe. And then I also said one more college coaching change is going to happen once we have these NFL jobs coming up. We had some listeners chime in on YouTube on some of their bold predictions, and we'll kind of give some reactions to those. Tim says Michigan will go 7-5 next year, first year under Kyle Whittingham. That was his bold prediction. We had Tommy, and I love Tommy's bold prediction. He says we will have 3-time national champs in college football. So how about that one? You like that?
The Buckeyes are going 3 straight?
That's right.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, let's
sign up for that. Tommy, I like where your head's at, buddy.
The Colonel, and Colonel always makes great comments here on the YouTube chat. He says Matt Campbell will have a better year than Kyle Whittingham. So Penn State better than Michigan next year. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Put a pin in that one.
Yeah, I mean, not that Bryce Underwood set the world on fire. Far from it, in fact. But job number one for Whittingham is keeping that roster together, you know. I mean, you don't want to lose Underwood. He's very talented. We know that. And he was just a true freshman this year. And I would submit his head coach wasn't really focused on the things he should have been focused on. Is that fair to say for Bryce? Scotty's not even listening
very
to me
fair.
right now. There he goes.
Yeah, very fair. No, I'm listening, but I'm also reading.
Sometimes you get focused, and I'm talking. I can tell that you're not listening to anything I'm saying.
I'm looking at our chat.
I know. I am too. I'm just joking with you. But yeah, I think there's a really good chance that Penn State could have a better year. But it'll depend on if Whittingham can keep this roster together. Because you had Biff Poggi, who had just terrible quote after terrible quote. I was loving it the last couple weeks. Talking about how it's a malfunctioning organization for the last 5 years. Like, dude, you've been part of that for 3 of the 5 years. Like, so you just came in like fresh, and now you're like, this is a malfunctioning organization. Like, you were part of it for 3 years. But I think if Whittingham can keep that roster together, I think Michigan's going to be solid next year. I can see them being 8-4 because they have you seen Michigan's schedule next year?
I had it pulled up.
It
yeah,
is tough.
Yes, it is. A couple other bold predictions out there on the YouTube chat for 2026. Jamie says Michigan State will be a 9-win team under Pat Fitzgerald in his first year.
Bold prediction.
It is. What were they this year? Were they like 4-8?
Yeah.
I mean, again, Bill Connolly from ESPN has Pat Fitzgerald ranked dead last of the 30 new coaches in Power 4. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but he made a pretty compelling argument.
More from our friend Sage, Ohio. Great YouTube chat guy. Sage is always in there. We appreciate you, Sage. He says Bengals and Browns finally joined together, call themselves Clincy, and go 0-17.
Clincy. Go 0-17. That would be perfect. We're gonna join forces here, and we're still gonna be awful. I always say about if you're a Browns fan or a Bengals fan, it's tough life, but hopefully you're an Ohio State fan. That makes up for it. So at least we have the Buckeyes.
Exactly. So some good predictions, bold predictions out there. And remind everybody your bold predictions from last segment as well, Dave.
Julian Sands going to win the Heisman. When they get together late January, the CFP is going to expand from 12 to 16. I think a lot of people just assume it's going to stay at 12 because the deadline was December 1st. They extended it, and they'll make more money. So it's inevitable they're going to expand. So I think they'll expand from 12 to 16 next year. And then my final one was the Browns will trade up toward the number 1 pick and take Mendoza.
And then, Nate, your bold predictions for 2016 or 2016. It would be really tough to do some bold predictions for 2016.
Ohio State Michigan goes into double overtime and Barrett gets the first down. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Nate, 2026, please, not 2016.
Ole Miss will not be turned around by Lane Kiffin, and it will be Dabo's final season in Clemson.
I think those are solid choices. I mean, Dabo, it's crazy.
It's piling up at this point.
It is, man. How about that fake punt early yesterday? And yeah, they look like they didn't want to be there. Southern boys coming up to try and play in weather in the teens in New York City, and Penn State was like, we like this. Their coach at halftime was like, I told the guys, whoever embraces the weather better is going to win this game. He's like, we love this weather. Yeah, I guarantee Clemson was not loving that weather. Yeah, it's crazy. And I think a lot of it, guys, I just see a lack of athleticism. Clemson used to be this team that would just like out-athlete you. You know, I don't see that at all anymore. They've got a lot of guys that seem like they're like more like MAC level guys. Yeah. They're not like Ohio University MAC level, like Akron MAC level.
Yeah, you're right.
I see a locker room that has quit on Dabo.
I mean, they just got overrated players. Like Klubnik was completely overrated. And obviously they're Clemson. They have some good athletes. But overall, their team speed is like mediocre.
Preseason, Klubnik was predicted to be a top 5 pick.
Yes.
He is now predicted to be a 3rd day pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, late day 3. If I'm taking a quarterback, I'm not using a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick on him. Arch Manning was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick. He's going to come back anyway, but he wouldn't be even a 1st rounder if he left. Yeah, it's funny looking at the quarterbacks that got a lot of hype coming into the year. We could go on and on and on. Drew Aller.
All of them are bad, yes.
Yeah, and I know Aller got hurt. Even if he stayed healthy, he was completely overrated.
Yes.
Completely overrated.
Yeah, it's so funny to think back at the start of the year when we had Texas, we had Clemson, we had Penn State. Those were like that was 3 of your top 4 teams, and to not even make the playoffs. So is there a team that you guys believe next year can be a team that jumps up and surprises everybody? So, like, you know, how this year, you and I still remember we were out, we were doing Rothman and Ice, and we were out at the golf tournament out there at Ohio State.
Yes.
The Nationwide Children's Hospital. And we were kind of going through and we were looking at teams from the Big Ten to make a jump and who will be a team that makes the college football playoff. We were looking at that Illinois team as a potential team to be a playoff team. Obviously didn't end up happening. We looked looked at Illinois versus Indiana, and we said kind of the winner of that game has a chance to take maybe the 4th spot in the playoffs for the Big Ten. I guess, is there a team out there that you're like, okay, they're kind of trending the right direction? Maybe not as dramatic as the trend that Indiana made as far as heading the right direction, but is there a team that you could see making that jump next year? And again, a lot of it is tough to predict now before the transfer portal even opens up and all that stuff. But is there someone? I still think USC. USC is a team for me that, gosh, I know Lincoln Riley, we keep coming back to him as like underachieving, but they have a really good recruiting class. And I feel like that's a team that we could see in the Big Ten making a big jump forward next year, and that's USC.
And I like their quarterback, too, and he's coming back.
Yeah.
So
the problem is there's going to be a lot of teams. I think there are way more teams dropping off next year than there are going to be jumping up. Like Vandy's not going to be without Diego is not going to be a top 15 team. Indiana, who knows what they'll be without Mendoza? I mean, I assume they'll still be good, but are they going to be the number 1 team in the country again next year? Probably not.
I would say the odds are highly against that. It's going to be funny if Sorsby transfers back to Indiana.
BYU's probably going to drop off. There's who knows who will be well in the ACC next year.
Washington could be, yeah. I mean, I think they could be a team that's on the rise. A team
PJ
that could,
Fleck,
get in
Minnesota.
All he does is win bowl games.
All he does is win bowl games.
And you mentioned Lincoln Riley. I imagine you don't have him in your top 5 college coaches, like best coaches in the country, top 5.
No, not even top 10.
Next, let's get into who are the top 5 coaches in college football. This is On the Money.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Tri-State Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Tri-State Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
Hi, this is Martina McBride. With online news, social media, and texting available 24/7, the world seems to be spinning faster and faster every day. And it can be overwhelming. Sometimes we just need to unplug and take a break from our electronic devices. It can help reduce stress and allow us to reflect on the things that are really important in our lives.
This message brought to you courtesy of the United States Air Force.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Timmy Hall and, real common man here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got plenty of holiday specials for you this month. You can enjoy a 4-course wine dinner at the lounge at Final Cut. Plus, there's holiday takeout specials.
And we got happenings on New Year's Eve.
What's happening?
Winning. You could win a 2026 Chevy Traverse, $35,000 in cash, or $50,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
It's all going down this month at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Anthony, and it's Happy Honda Days at your main Honda of Dublin. What am I going to give you? How about rates as low as 0%? You want no payments for 90 days? You got it. Do you have a trade-in? I'll make sure Rich gives you an extra $1,000 for your trade. Yep, an extra $1,000. Or I'll slide you right into a brand new Honda with leases starting from only $239 a month. Happy Honda Days right now at your main Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at yourmainhondaofdublin.com.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat,
they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SUMMI to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SUMMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SUMMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now get a sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal, complete with hash browns and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. Single item at regular price excludes tax.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mainly cloudy today with isolated showers and warm. Temperatures will soar in the mid to upper 60s with breezy winds out of the south. And then as we go into tonight, we'll see some showers develop with thunderstorms. Very strong winds continue, and we'll also see lows plunge down into the 20s. For Monday, slight chance of snow showers in the afternoon, otherwise mostly cloudy with strong gusty winds. Highs only getting in the upper 20s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. Some people golf on Sunday mornings. Some people place bets on the people playing golf on Sunday mornings. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Yeah, I really wish that Michigan had ended up with Jeff Brom or Brent Key or Eli Drinkowitz, some of those names that were thrown out there. I think that Kyle Whittingham ends up being a pretty good coach. I don't think it was a grand slam home run. I don't think Michigan's going to win a national championship under Kyle Whittingham, but I think he will solidify the program, clean things up. And so I think it was a good hire, not grand slam, but I was hoping it was Brom or Key or Drinkowitz.
And there was a lot of
those.
smoke it was going to be. We had some Michigan insiders, like message board insiders, saying it's going to be Jeff Brom. And
That would have been great.
Yes,
I know.
That fizzled.
Ugh. Well, it got us thinking, who are the top coaches in all of college football? And I think that we can kind of agree on a consensus top four. Of course, in whatever order you want to put them in, but we are saying Ryan Day, we are saying Kurt Cignetti, Kirby Smart, and Dan Lanning. Those are your, we think, obvious top four coaches in all of college football. And then after that, you kind of get a line and maybe a little separation, and we can kind of debate back and forth who the best coaches are going to be.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Does your opinion of Dan Lanning change if they lose?
If they lose to Texas Tech, that's a good question. Where, gosh, a lot of talent and not a lot of postseason success.
And not a lot of big victories.
Yeah, because even DeBoer owned him.
Boy. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yes, it would have to, right? Just like Ryan Day went from people questioning him to being a legend in Columbus for as long as he lives because he won that. Even after, even longer than that. You win a national championship at Ohio State, you're a legend for life. But what were people saying about Ryan Day before the CFP run? They were thinking, his job might be on the line. His job was not on the line, but Yeah, definitely, Nate. Definitely.
That's a very fair comment. If
But
they
as of
lose
now-
to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But I think he's someone that, like, if you had an opening and you were to rank guys that you would most want to get in that opening, he would be in the top 4 for everybody.
I believe Alabama, they went after Lanning before, then they pivoted to DeBoer. I believe that's how that went. But yeah, I agree. So in whatever order, Ryan Day, Kirby, Signetti, Lanning, although to be determined. But as of now, I have him in a clear top 4. Then it gets interesting.
Yes.
Marcus Freeman would probably be next on my list, but you have Dillingham, DeBoer. I put Matt Campbell at least in the mix. Whittingham in the mix. Whittingham 10 years ago would be top 5 probably. Now he's a young 66. The dude works out a lot. He looks good, but he's still 66. And he, last couple years at Utah, not as good as he had been doing there. Maybe Jed Fish. I guess you have to put Lane Kiffin in there. I don't know if you have. Well, maybe you don't have to.
Brent Venables.
Cristobal.
I don't have him in.
I put Cristobal in because he did a good job at Oregon, but then he has Miami more relevant than they've been since Ohio State played them in the 2002 national championship game.
So let's do this. We got our top 4. Let's go 5, 6, 7, 8. So the next 4 after the top 4 in order of our coaches that we think are the best coaches in all of college football.
And I think this should be the kind of the methodology. Ohio State's job's open right now. Who would we want?
There you go. I think that's a good way to put it.
So would you rather have Freeman, Ohio State grad, or DeBoer, or Dillingham?
So I would go probably at number 5, Marcus Freeman.
I would too.
I would as well.
I would too, especially considering it's Ohio State. Okay. And
6, I'm going.
He turns us down.
DeBoer.
I would go for DeBoer as well.
I would also go DeBoer.
Which is why I was happy Michigan did not get him.
And that's who they wanted, and we'll never know. But if Oklahoma had won that game, I think Kalen DeBoer would be the head coach at Michigan right now because he's gotten a lot of heat down there. Maybe it's a little bit off his back now. Yeah, I would go with DeBoer. Next, probably Dillingham.
I'm not going Dillingham.
If the comment is who do you want at Ohio State, I am not going Dillingham.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I'm going Clark Lee at number 8.
Why don't you? Oh, it's not like you don't like Dillingham. Just you think Clark Lee. Yeah.
Who would I want as the next head coach at Ohio State? I do not want Dillingham as my next head coach at Ohio State.
I know you guys are going to kill me for this call. I would put Lincoln Riley. And I know that USC hasn't turned out the way we expected USC to be. I still think he is a offensive guru. I think he's still young enough. I
saw Ohio State for a few years without a defense. I don't want to see that again.
I get it. I think Lincoln Riley is still an elite coach. I put him at 7 for me. So it'd be our consensus 4. Then it would be Freeman at 5, DeBoer at 6, Lincoln Riley at 7 for me.
I might have Cristobal over Lincoln Riley.
What?
Look what he's done at. I mean, my gosh, Miami was like nothing. Miami's going to be back this year. And they actually are a good team this year. They haven't had 11 wins in a long. No, I know. ACC, I know.
I don't like.
But that was a good win going and beating Texas A&M at Kyle Field, one of the toughest places to play. Yeah, it just gets like slim pickings after that. Like, what about Jed Fish? Where are you at on that?
I have 9. I had him 9 on my list.
Yeah, I'd rather Lane Kiffin. I'd put Kiffin above.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Kiffin. He's just, I don't know. I would not want him leading Ohio State. I would rather have Jed Fish than him. I'd rather have Cristobal than Kiffin. All right, here's one for you guys. You guys are going to laugh. But he's won 2 national championships. Dabo.
No thanks.
Nah.
He's not even in my top 10.
No. Again, 5 years ago, he's probably number 2.
He'd have to be because he'd be him and Kirby are the only ones with 2 national championships that are sitting head coaches. Yeah, it gets tough sledding. Matt Campbell,
Steve. No, I'm not.
Top. I need
to see something.
I think he's top 10. What he did at Iowa State. I mean, Iowa State was them and Indiana were the 2 most losing Power 4 programs of all time.
I could maybe get behind Brent Venables as a top 10.
So you're saying if Ohio State's job was open right now, you'd rather have Venables than Campbell? I don't think Venables is that good of a head coach.
I wouldn't want either one. I'd rather go the route of.
But if you had to take one though,
probably Venables.
I would take Campbell.
I think I'm going Dillingham before I get to Campbell.
Yeah, I would go. Dillingham's higher on my list, but then I would definitely.
Why do we love Dillingham as much as people do?
Dilly.
Yeah, I know he's young.
Arizona State.
Because he turned down Michigan.
I know he's young. I know he's, 35, 36 years old. Arizona State. I mean, it's not like the Big 12 and Arizona State is like killing it.
True.
Right?
But you look at what he inherited. Herm Edwards. We all like Herm, right? Herm, great guy, right? Good on TV. Boy, he left that program in shambles. Dillingham took over a disaster. Second year, he wins the Big 12 and takes them to the playoffs and almost beats Texas.
It's why I like Clark Lee. You turned around Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Well, that James Franklin did too. Yeah. That. Clark Lee would be interesting.
Tim in the YouTube chat says you guys have to mention James Laurinaitis. Now, what we're really doing?
We're talking head coaches.
Is we are ranking like the current head coaches.
So Brian Hartline, where are we putting him?
Yeah, right.
No, seriously, we're just going guys that are currently head coaches. We're not going to come to a consensus here after the top. I think we came to a consensus with 5. We agree Marcus Freeman is 5th.
And I think we all agreed DeBoer was 6.
Oh, that's right. DeBoer was 6. Then we all fall off. Well, I have Dillingham.
I have Lincoln Riley.
And remind me who you have?
At 7 I had Clark Lee.
Clark Lee. That's a good one.
And I love the Lincoln Riley as far as I want an offensive coach. I want a good recruiter so that he checks those 2 boxes.
I got one for you. This could be like a this or that. So right now, and you have to factor in their age, would you rather have Matt Campbell or Kyle Whittingham as Ohio State's coach right now? If something happened, you had to hire somebody right now.
Matt Campbell.
I would too.
Matt Campbell.
All right. Up next is this or that. This is On the Money.
This is Aaron Gaynor.
And I'm Jerry Taylor.
Representing everyone at ECO, we just want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Aaron, we should tell them about the day that you and I became business partners.
Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to hear that story myself.
Well, you remember the day I rear-ended you just as you were turning into the parking lot at ECO?
You were going to call your insurance company, but your cell phone was dead.
That's right. So I followed you here into the ECO building and said, is there an empty office with a landline that I can use?
And I said, yeah, there's an empty office here next to mine.
So I went in there and called my insurance company.
And you've been using that office ever since.
Yes. I give you free advice, and you give me free office space. And that is how we became partners.
On behalf of all the generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and we got great news for you HVAC technicians.
ECO wishes you an extremely very Merry Christmas and a rollicking Happy New Year.
Rollicking?
Get ECO.
ECO. Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan. And now back to a show featuring 2 dudes who've been kicked out of their homes by angry wives. This pretty much sums up every show we have here on The Fan. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Welcome back to On the Money on The Fan. Dave Biddle, Scottie Vegas, Nate Putterball. And right now it's time for one of our favorite segments. It is This or That. Hit it, Nate. All right, we've been doing this segment for like 7 years, right? Are you getting with every commercial now has this or that? I know. Every other commercial has this or that.
They stole it from us.
Yeah, well, we stole it from the Black Sheep, so I guess, but yeah, I mean, it's everywhere now. I thought it was just the Venmo commercial, and there's another one that uses it, and then there's another one that uses it. There's like 3 different companies that are using it right now. All right, I got to start with the food one, guys. So a little preamble here. So my youngest daughter does not like spicy stuff, but she likes chicken. And she wanted to try the Nashville hot chicken. I'm like, you're not going to like it. Like, you don't like spicy things. She's like, I really want to try it. And a new hot chicken, I'm not going to name the place because I think they do a good job. And I liked it. I knew she wasn't going to like it. She didn't like it. And I'm going to ask you guys, I like both. I like regular fried chicken, when you're talking about like Popeyes, however you want to do it, whatever. Or I like the Nashville hot chicken as well. But I definitely have a favorite. You guys getting with hot chicken? Or are you getting with just regular fried chicken?
I would prefer hot chicken. I love spicy as well. In fact, I had a spicy pizza the other day with some peppers and hot pepperoni and all that stuff. So I like a little kick. Give me the kick. Okay,
but you can get spicy, fried chicken from Popeyes. But it's just like a different thing. I just like regular fried chicken. It's just perfect the way it is. I like the hot chicken, but I'm getting with regular fried chicken, Nate.
I enjoy a little bit of spice, but you cannot beat a good fried chicken.
All right, guys. Speaking of food, Thanksgiving to Christmas, we generally like to eat a lot of cookies, a lot of chocolate, a lot of pizza, a lot of weight gain, at least for me,
for me too,
between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So here's the deal. This or that, you go from Thanksgiving to Christmas, no matter what you eat, you will not gain any weight whatsoever during that time. Okay, so you can go crazy and eat whatever, drink whatever, all that stuff. You gain no weight. Or you get one of those calendars, you open them up, and there's a little present for you every single day between Christmas and Thanksgiving. So you're either eating whatever you want, or you're getting a present every single day during this holiday time. What are you taking?
I'm taking, I can eat whatever I want and not gain a pound. That sounds phenomenal.
I don't know what I'm getting in those presents. It could be bad.
Right.
I know I'm getting tasty food.
Well, let's say they're pretty solid presents, like a $10 to $20 value present.
Like a $10 gift card to Popeyes. I'm
which then I will not gain any weight on.
I got to be honest with you, and I love Awaken 180, and I'm really excited about the partnership of losing weight. I am not excited about stepping on the scale because I've put it off for a couple weeks, and I had to step on once a month to talk to my coach, and I think I'm going to get yelled at like Bobby Knight to me from this.
They're going to throw a chair at you, aren't they? All the way across the court.
I think I'll be, but the program's so good, I'll drop it relatively quickly. But man, that 6 week period of eating, oh my.
And I was thinking okay, New Year, I'm going to new leaf. I'm going to just go on a crazy diet. And I think, well, maybe the day after New Year's Day. So it's all football then. And then there's going to be NFL. I'll make excuses. Maybe after the Super Bowl.
Maybe after March Madness.
Maybe after Easter.
Then there's the Masters. After the Masters. Oh, shoot. The NBA Finals.
There's always an excuse. Shane Gillis has the joke where his dad, he's like, my dad's an alcoholic. He's always making excuses why he's drinking. He's like, well, Dad, you're drinking again. He's like, the game's on. And he's like, okay, all right, whatever. Monday Night Football's on. And he's like, then the next day, it's Tuesday. Dad, what are you drinking? Why are you drinking again? He's like, well, there's no game on. What am I supposed to do? There's a game on. That's the excuse. And there's no game on. That's the excuse. It's like, that's pretty funny.
Man.
All right, who's up? Is Nate up or are you
All
up?
right, we're heading into the NFL playoffs. I'm giving you both the Seahawks and the Broncos or the field.
Oh, field.
Oh, so basically the 1 seeds or the field.
I would go heavy on it, too.
I told you my bold prediction is there will be a wild card team that wins the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be the Rams. That's the team who I've bet on. But, yeah, I'm definitely taking the field.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go pretty heavy on that.
And they're a lucky garbage 2-point conversion play.
I don't remember an NFL season like this where it's like, I feel like all of these teams, there's good teams. There's above average teams that are going to be in the playoffs. There's no great teams at all. Not even close. I can't think of one team. Well, what about them? No. What about the Bills? No. They're a good team.
I know.
They're not great. A great team doesn't barely beat the Bengals and barely beat the Browns.
Well, and then you look at the teams that you're like, oh, okay, maybe I trust them based on record. And then you're like, but do I trust Drake May to go win the Super Bowl this year? And I like Drake May. But do I trust Sam Darnold to go win the Super Bowl? And so these teams that have amazing records, you're looking at like once they get in the playoffs, do I trust their quarterback to actually get it done and win the whole thing? And it's very, very hard. Do you trust Bo Nix?
No. I mean, he was a good pick. When they took him 12th overall, I was like, geez, that seems like a little bit of a reach. And it wasn't. He was definitely a better pick than JJ, who was taken ahead of him at 10th. Bo Nix was a good pick. Drake May was a great pick. I mean, Burrow got there his second year, but I don't think those guys are as good as Burrow. And they don't have Zach Taylor, one of the best coaches ever in football. I'm kidding. Say that in jest.
What's funny is we're going to be doing our Super Bowl party at the casino. And generally we have an idea of, okay, a few teams, one of these or a couple of these teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. I have no clue. Like up and down the AFC, I think there's like 6 teams that could make the Super Bowl. And up and down the NFC, I think there's 7 teams.
Yeah, exactly. I do not remember an NFL season. I'm sure I'm forgetting one that is this wide open, at least in my opinion. All right, next one, guys. I'm going to set the over-under at 0.5. 0.5. You take in the over or under 0.5 upsets in the CFP quarterfinals. So those 4 games, will there be an upset?
When we filled out our brackets, all 3 of us said the favorites would win. I do think that Oregon game is basically a coin flip. I have it at 52% chance Oregon wins that game. I think somehow, some way we'll see one upset of the 4. So I'll go over.
Yeah, I'm taking the over as well. Nate?
I'm taking the over as well.
Despite the fact that when we were filling out the brackets, we had 0.
I mean, on paper, it's the difference between paper and then like one of these is going to go the wrong way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm individually, I picked all the favorite, but I almost took Texas Tech.
I thought about it too.
Yeah, but I just feel like the odds, and I bet the odds would back that up. If there was a way to bet on it, I bet you the odds would be in our favor taking the over. There'll be one upset, especially one of the upsets is just 2.5 point favorite.
My favorite Sports Center phrase of all time was a Craig Kilborn. And Nate was talking about games being played on paper. And Craig Kilborn had this line that games aren't played on paper. They were played by little men inside our TV sets.
he was the best.
Loved that.
He was the best.
Yes.
And what happened to him?
He went to do the Daily Show.
But then he was doing late.
Then he went CBS Night
and
Show.
And then after Craig Ferguson replaced him on that, he's
just kind of chilling. He got the money, got the late night money, and I do see him on social media. I think he's got an Instagram that he does some funny videos.
Everybody's got a podcast.
The Feel Good Edition.
The Feel Good Edition. Resourceful. Yeah. You and I talked about, we ranked Sports Center anchors once, and we both had Kilborn number 1. I was like, yep, he's my favorite too.
Oh, resourceful. All right, my this or that. Over-under, since you did an over-under, I'm going to do the same thing. Kyle Whittingham, years at Michigan. I'm going to put that number at 3.5.
Oh, that's perfect.
He's 66, so it'd be getting to 70 years old. Is he the head coach at Michigan in 4 years?
I'll take the over, but barely. I don't think he's going to be there. I think he'll stay 4 years. When it was announced he was going to be hired, but we didn't know like how many years yet. I did guess 5 because even if he's planning on staying 3 or 4, you don't want to say that to recruits. You only signed a 3-year deal. Everybody else in college football signs at least a 5. So I figured he'd sign a 5-year deal. I don't know if he'll complete 5 years, but I don't think he's going to be 2 and done or 3 and done. So I will take the over.
I'm also taking the over. I think he'll be there 4, and then they will put the plan in place for the replacement in year 5.
I'm with you on, I think it'll be exactly 4 years. I have him, about 4 years making the playoffs 3 out of the 4 years, never winning the national championship. And I did want to push back a little bit on you when you talked about the recruiting and the number of years of the contract. I just feel like in recruiting now, when you're recruiting these kids, I just feel like they don't care how long a coach is going to be staying, because I think so many of these kids now feel like it's a 1-year contract. I'm going to a school for 1 year, and then I'm a free agent, and then I'm going again. So I don't know if thinking, this coach is going to be there 4 or 5 years really matters all that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, I think you make a good point. Maybe it matters to some kids, but to your point, man, at the very least, it's nowhere near as important as it used to be. Yeah. All right.
My last one, as we're going into, of course, New Year's Eve, better holiday tradition, the ball dropping or fireworks on the 4th of July?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll go fireworks.
I've never really cared at all about the ball dropping. Like, if I miss it, I don't care. A lot of times I'm playing like video games, like college football video games, and the ball dropped. Oh, okay, who cares?
This year you'll be watching Ohio State football probably. Hopefully the game will already be over. But
we don't need any game ending right at midnight again.
No, we don't need a kick to win the game. No. From like 60 yards. No, it wasn't 60. It was 50 yards. Ruggles was great. Like, from like inside, he'd never even tried a 50-yarder. That was ugly.
I don't need to see any Ohio State field goal attempts in this game coming up. No, I'm going to go fireworks because I at least go to watch the fireworks every year. The ball drop does nothing to me.
Fireworks has the element of violence and danger. Therefore, I'm going with fireworks.
Danger.
Does laughing count? Do we have to drink? Talked over the sound. All right, last one for me. You getting with Ohio State has an easier path, quote unquote, easier path in the CFP, or you're saying Indiana has the easier path?
Ooh, okay. So Alabama or Miami, I would say the easier team would be Miami. And then the semifinal game, you're talking probably Georgia and probably Oregon. I think that's about a wash to me. So I would say Ohio State slightly easier.
You nailed it. I feel the exact same way. I think it's almost a wash between Georgia and Oregon. I probably would rather play Oregon. If you put a gun to my head, I'd be mad you put a gun to my head, but I'd probably take Oregon. But I just feel like Alabama is a better team than Miami. The ACC is an absolute joke, and Miami didn't even get to their conference championship game. So I think Ohio State has a slightly easier path.
I'm going to go the opposite. I don't necessarily think that much of Alabama. I mean, I don't think much of Miami, but I think both of those are kind of a wash. And then I would much rather play either Oregon or Texas Tech than Georgia.
I do love if they play Georgia. The semifinal is going to be at the Fiesta Bowl. I love that. It's like Ohio State's home away from home. There's a lot of Buckeye fans in the Phoenix. A lot. I don't think there's that many Georgia fans there.
I do love that too. And I also, are you going to be in Miami if Ohio State?
Definitely.
Okay, then yes, I'll be with you in Miami. Yeah.
Good.
I did have one more, this or that. Now, this one is this, that, or the other, or another, or however you want to put this one. But during the call-in show, I brought up to Ryan, I said, who is the Buckeye that breaks out during the playoff run for Ohio State? And my answer was Bo Jackson. I'm really curious of your two's answer. Who is the Buckeye that breaks out this year that has the huge playoffs?
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't know if Bo Jackson really counts, my friend.
It counts.
Okay, we'll allow it, I guess. I'll go with Brandon Ennis. I feel like he's going to have a big role. I almost said Max Clare. With all the, obviously I think JJ and Carnell are going to get theirs, but I'll go with Brandon Ennis.
I'm going to say the same thing I said during the call-in show. It's either Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese, whoever's sacking Miami's quarterback the most.
You're talking about breakout, like a guy hasn't broken out yet, right? Like,
no,
Arvell Reese is projected as the top non-quarterback taken in the draft. He's already broken out.
No, here's how I look at it. As a guy who, stepped up his game so much. So,
Jack Sawyer last year.
Like Jack Sawyer having that moment. The scoop and score. Already a good player, but he had the scoop and score moment. Or even Jeremiah Smith, who goes from being a really, really good player to being an all-time player.
Then I might change it to Caden Curry.
What about Zeke? Would you consider Zeke? He was a breakout because he had a good regular season. And then,
yes, I would.
For sure. Those three games in the Big Ten championship game and the 2 games in the playoffs, yes.
And I liked your Max Clare. I actually wrote down 2. I wrote down Bo. And again, Bo, 5 touchdowns on the year. So I think there's that room. I think he becomes the elite back that we think he is.
I didn't know I could cheat and say, Caleb Downs. He's going to be the first safety taken in the top 10 since Jamal Adams 9 years ago.
Perfectly fine if I never hear the name Caleb Downs the entire postseason. That means he has done his job.
Or I want to hear him darting in there and just wrecking shop and just
intercepting Carson back 5 times. I'm fine with that too.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Up next, we're going to give our against the spread picks for the 4 quarterfinals of the college football playoff. This is On the Money.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Timmy Hall and, real common man here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got plenty of holiday specials for you this month. You can enjoy a 4-course wine dinner at the lounge at Final Cut. Plus, there's holiday takeout specials.
And we got happenings on New Year's Eve.
What's happening?
Winning. You could win a 2026 Chevy Traverse, $35,000 in cash, or $50,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
It's all going down this month at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SUMMI to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SUMMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SUMMI for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, select varieties of Doritos, Ruffles, or Tostitos are on sale. Buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
'Tis the season to not feel groggy. I know that's not how the song goes, but it's how the rush of the holidays can make us feel. Eric Reeser here and my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa have the goods to keep you looking and feeling your best as the year comes to an end. 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments. If you're like me and get a little queasy at the thought of an IV, not a big needle person, I get it. But their staff of incredible certified nurse practitioners makes the process easy. Get your body ready for a successful holiday season by booking your drip today at hydratememedspa.com.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
Love football, love wings. Put those bad boys together and you get Austin and Vern live at Roosters.
Presented by Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Large amounts of football and all the donkey sauce you can handle. Mondays on the Fans YouTube channel. Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Scottie Vegas is still offering player props at his kids' soccer games. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Oh, what a week this is going to be. We got New Year's Eve. Gonna watch the Buckeyes take care of Miami. My cousin's already sending me what he's gonna be ordering at the casino when we go to the watch party there, and he's ordering steaks. I'm gonna order the wings, and we are gonna have a great time at Hollywood Casino for the Ohio State Miami watch party that night. And then all day long, New Year's Day, we got back-to-back playoff games, college football style. So let's go ahead and make our against the spread picks, Dave. Here's the deal. We are going head-to-head. You and I are going head-to-head with the guys from Hollywood, with our friend Noah Kirk, with our enemy, Justin Schmoose. More of a frenemy, but he is a Michigan fan.
He's a good guy. He has one flaw.
Big flaw.
One big flaw. Other than that, he's a good guy.
He also had pie in his face about a month ago when I pied him right in the face after Ohio State beat Michigan. All right, we got to give our picks against the spread. You and I are both 2-2. I'm a very bitter 2-2 from the first round games because I had Oregon covering and had that backdoor garbage.
As did I.
So here's the deal. Ohio State minus 9.5. I told you I think Ohio State wins the game 24-10. So I am taking Ohio State in the cover. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to take Ohio State to cover. I'm pretty confident they'll win. The spread's a little high, but I have Ohio State winning this game by, I'll probably pick 10 or 14. I haven't come up with my specific prediction yet. But yeah, give me Ohio State to cover the 9.5.
Oregon, a 2.5-point favorite over Texas Tech. I've gone back and forth on this one. I still think I'm going to stay with Oregon giving the points despite the defense that screwed me in that James Madison game. I think they get it done.
I think this is close to a 50-50 game. I give it a little bit of an edge to Oregon, but like you were saying earlier, maybe like 52-48. So I would take Oregon straight up, but I'm taking Texas Tech plus 2.5.
Okay. Indiana, this spread has gone from 7.5 down to 6.5. I am actually going to go with Indiana. Again, I like to handicap games based on quarterbacks and coaches, and I think advantage Indiana quarterback. I think with Mendoza, and I think advantage Kurt Cignetti over Kalen DeBoer. So I'm going Indiana covering the 6.5.
I've got Indiana winning and Alabama covering. I liked it a lot better when it was 7.5. Alabama was getting 7.5, it's down to 6.5, like you said, Scotty. I'll still take Alabama to cover.
Okay, and then the final one, this is the one where I'm taking the points. I'm taking Ole Miss plus 6.5 against Georgia. I think that's going to be a really, really fun game. Again, Ole Miss was winning going into the fourth quarter against Georgia at Georgia last time. Had a bad fourth quarter. I think this one stays close. Give me the plus 6.5 with the Rebels.
Yeah, I'll take Georgia, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope they just flat out lose. But and you never know. I mean, Ole Miss looked like a team. I know they already beat the doors off of Tulane earlier this year, and they did it again. But they looked like a team that was like, okay, everybody's doubting us now. We'll show you. Think Lane Kiffin was the reason we're good? We'll show you, because they have all their players still there, all of their coaches except for Lane. Even guys that are going to follow Lane to LSU are coaching the playoffs. So I hope I'm wrong, but I'm taking Georgia to cover.
Okay, so we talked real quickly about breakout player for Ohio State. Give me the one key to the game for you in this game against Miami, Dave.
Low-hanging fruit, but the offensive line for Ohio State, and Miami's got a great defensive line. Now, I think Ohio State's defensive line is getting disrespected when I hear Miami's clearly better on both lines. It's like, okay, we'll see. Ohio State's defensive line's really good. But if you tell me right now, Scott, that Ohio State just holds the fort down, that they have a stalemate. Their offensive line has a stalemate against Miami's D-line. Ohio State's going to win this game.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I wrote down protect Julian, finish drives, make Carson Beck make the mistakes. That's what he did when they lost to Louisville and SMU. They forced him into turnovers. And then please, please, please make your kicks. Make the field goals.
Yeah, and people might think...
Or don't even kick them.
You look at the box score from Miami's first game against Texas A&M, like, oh, they don't have a good field goal kicker. Miami has a great field goal kicker. The wind was crazy. It hit one that was going right down the middle, and it just went sideways. It was like something you'd see like at Soldier Field. All right, that is our show for today. Thank you very much for joining us. For Scottie Vegas and Nate Putterbaugh, I am Dave Biddle. Up next on The Fan is pregame coverage of the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. This has been On the Money.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings